it will be Michael O'Brien that starts on pole position for the first of two championship races here at Brands Hatch on the HSCC Super Prix. Celebrating 50 years of Formula Ford we are this weekend. You can see a run through the collection areas. The drivers get ready for this first race. Tomorrow is the 50th birthday of Formula Ford. But as I mentioned, two championship races this weekend, and it is expected to be a thriller. Two returning race winners include Ben Mitchell and his dad, Westy. There you can see Westy in the Lotus, run by Simon Hadfield Motorsport. A quick turnaround from the drivers from the heat, the Ed Thurston and Michael Grant Peterkin that start on row 7. The top 26 from the heat progress, and let's see how they got there. A group photo featuring present historic Formula Ford drivers and legends from Formula Ford racing over the last 50 years took place before the first of 4 races at the HSC Super Prix. This being the heat for round 5 of the championship, the top 24 going through to the championship race. Michael Grant Peterkin passed Ed Thurston around the Grand Prix loop on the opening lap, but Thurston had repassed it in lap 2. Ross Driver had a great move around the outside of Daniel Pickett at Hawthorns. For second, it was Stuart Kestenbaum, Rob Smith and Michael Grant Peterkin that battled over that position. Driver then went on to have a good battle with Tim Bride as he worked his way through the field. Dick Dixon and Rob Lamplow there had a great battle. This was a titanic tussle though. Chris Sharples and Alistair Littlewood at the head of it to start with. See Pickett, Andrew Mansell, Chris Stewart involved in that as well. Kestenbaum dropped back and Michael Grant Peterkin took second place away from Rob Smith. Meanwhile, you can see this battle at the end of the top 10 continue to dice away. Driver powered up the field, battling with Brian Morris at the end. But the runaway winner was the Eldon of Ed Thurston. And this is how they will line up for this one, with Michael O'Brien setting the quickest time in qualifying yet again this year. Here go off from first. Alongside him, returning to the series, is Cameron Jackson. On the second row, Ben Tilley and Callum Grant. Max Bartel and Ben Mitchell on the third row. Then we've got Ben Sims and Richard Tarley, Matt Wrigley and Sam Mitchell concluding the top 10. Westy Mitchell and James Buckton head the heat runners. Ed First and Michael Grant Peterkin the first of those. We saw a great race in the heat earlier on. They've all had a quick 20 or 30 minute turnaround to get out for this one. Be a capacity grid on the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. 20 minutes of racing around this circuit. Expecting to be rather excited. Ben Tilley and Cameron Jackson have just jumped down to their Formula Juniors to get into their Formula Fords for this one. We're aboard with Tilley in third. Away they go. Tilley gets really sideways off the line. It's a great start from Cameron Jackson, and he's already alongside Michael O'Brien. He's going ahead of Michael O'Brien, the only loader amongst all the Merlins up front, and it is Jackson that leads then as the fields flow through Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. And it looks like they're all going to make it through Paddock safely, which is great, but it's 3 wide up front. That's Ben Mitchell looking to the outside of Max Bartel and Ben Tilley. Tilley heads that group down towards Graham Hill Bend, and Mitchell's on the inside of Bartel, and Richard Tarley, who we're on board with, was looking down the inside of Bartel as well, but couldn't find a way through. Down towards 30 they go. Ben Mitchell challenging, as is Tarlin. Tarlin going alongside Bartel there, but it is Cameron Jackson heads the cars. They head on to the Grand Prix circuit. What a great sight this makes, a full grid of pre-1972 Formula Fords, and it's side by side between Ben Sims and Max Bartel. Bartel getting the toe of the car in front to stay ahead. And meanwhile, it's Ben Mitchell going around the outside of Ben Tilley in towards Hawthorn, so Mitchell gains a place. Tilley's lost out a bit, hasn't he, on this first lap. Dick Dixon a bit further back, well, he's battling with Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins on the outside, but Dixon going through there on the inside line through Hawthorns. Plenty of action already then at the start of this one, all the way throughout the field. What about Ben Mitchell? He's sliding, trying to come round the outside of Callum Grant. He's up to 4th, so he's already gained 2 places in his return to Formula Ford. It's been many seasons since he's been in a historic Formula Ford car. The last time he raced in a Formula Ford, it was a modern car at the Waterhays Trophy. Callum Grant, championship leader, reigning champion. He's in 3rd place, chasing the leaders, who are Cameron Jackson and Michael O'Brien. O'Brien goes to the outside for Paddock Hill Bend, and he takes the lead away from Cameron Jackson then. Jackson run with most teammates to Michael O'Brien in the opener at Donington, but he switched to Neil Fowler Motorsport this weekend. Really late on the brakes there was Ben Tilley. He locked up as he tried to go down the inside of Ben Mitchell. If anything, he's going to lose a place to Richard Tarling. The 2 cars run side by side down to Graham Hill Bend, but Tilley keeps the inside line to stay ahead. With Grant and Mitchell still ahead of him, but at the very head of the field is Michael O'Brien, who has a big twitch into 30s, and it's a 10 or so car train up front, concluded by Sam Mitchell, then a small gap back before the rest of the field flow through. And we're on board with Ben Mitchell, and the top 4 are absolutely together into Hawthorns. Side by side between O'Brien and Jackson, and side by side between Grant and Mitchell. I don't think anyone actually changed places there, but it was ever so tight. What about Richard Tarling? Let's ride on board with him. He's chasing Ben Tilley, who in turn is chasing that lead in 4. This is a super tight race to start off with then. Celebrating the 50th birthday in Formula Ford in style. Down the inside of Grant goes Ben Mitchell, so Ben Mitchell grabs 3rd, down to 4th for Grant. And now Ben Tilley under threat from Richard Tarling, but up front Grant trying to get back past Ben Mitchell as they turn their way through Clearway. They are absolutely together. It's a good run through the corner for Max Bartel. He's trying to come up alongside Richard Tarling, but he can't quite do that. He might have to back out of it for a second. So Ben Sims is going to challenge up towards Paddock. Late on the brakes is Sims. He comes round the outside of Max Bartel, uses the curb to get back alongside him on the inside this time as they head up Hayward Hill in towards Druids. Very equal, the 2 cars are on the brakes. They are running absolutely side by side still as they turn through the corner. And on the outside, Max Bartel, who therefore is on the inside for Graham Hill Bend, and he goes back ahead of Ben Sims. What a battle. It's still Michael O'Brien that leads the way though, and the 10 cars up front are still there with Wesley Mitchell and James Buckton not much further back in 11th and 12th. On board with Sam Mitchell now, they're side by side up ahead of him. That's Ben Sims trying to get past Max Bartel still. He was on the grass on the inside there. The car drifting through Hawthorns, one of the fastest corners on the racetrack. Mitchell runs a bit wide out of Westfield. That's lost him a bit of momentum up the hill towards Sheen Curve. And Sims carried the speed through there well. He's down the inside of Max Bartel when he finally gets past after trying to find a way past for the whole lap. Dick Dixon still involved in a battle as well. What a season 2017 has been for the historic Formula Ford Championship, and Brands Hatch an absolute highlight it was hoped to be, and it certainly so far is proving to be. Dick Dixon goes past Harvey Sykes in towards Clearway. Back up front though, Callum Grant challenging Ben Mitchell. They're side by side for the lead as Cameron Jackson comes around the outside of Michael O'Brien. O'Brien breaks later, so stays ahead, but then runs out wide, so Cameron Jackson's going to come down the inside and towards Druids. Ben Mitchell trying to buy into that as well, and Callum Grant trying to go around the outside of all of them. The latest driver on the brakes was Ben Mitchell. He comes around the outside of Jackson. Jackson though slides down the inside of O'Brien, so it's Cameron Jackson that leads in 2nd position. It is Michael O'Brien. 3rd on the inside is Ben Mitchell, and 4th is Callum Grant, who is under pressure from Ben Tilley. Tilley looking to the inside, but instead it is Richard Tarling that dives down the inside to grab 5th position. A gap back to the 7th place battle, and behind them Wesley Mitchell and James Buckton were side by side. More side by side action. That's Rob Lamplow and Dick Dixon. Lamplow though carrying the speed through Druids to stay ahead. Sam Mitchell now round the outside of Ben Tilley. He's past Max Bartel also on this last lap. So Sam Mitchell starting to come through the field. A bit disappointed to start back in 10th position was Mitchell. Let's see what's going on with Kevin Stansel, because he's got a good run on Chris Sharples. He's going to come down the inside, heading down Pilgrim's Drop and then up towards Hawthorns. On the right line will be Stansel to gain the position. Andrew Wiggins leading this battle that involves about as many cars as are involved in the lead battle. Fantastic. Ben Tilley chasing Richard Tarling up towards Clearways, looking to the outside there. Tarling right up on the curb and he slid out wide, and Ben Tilley's going to be able to squeeze up alongside him. He's going to run side by side all the way up to Paddock Hill Bend. Later on the brakes, Tilley goes through, and for second Ben Mitchell has gone down the inside of Michael O'Brien, so up to P2 for Mitchell now. Cameron Jackson continues to lead though, and Michael O'Brien may well lose out to Callum Grant now, who's looking to the inside. It's starting to look like O'Brien and Grant are the two drivers battling for the title. At the moment they are third and fourth here. Cameron Jackson leading, only in his second race this season, where Ben Mitchell is in his first race of the year in the historic Formula Ford Championship. Yet again, through 30s, James Buckton and Westy Mitchell run side by side. Rob Lamplow now ahead of Andrew Wiggins as they turn their way through Paddock Hill Bend. Richard Tarling is challenging Ben Tilley once more up towards Hawthorns. Tilley on the inside, stays ahead. What about Westfield? Not really an overtaking opportunity, so Tarling tucks underneath. They clatter the curbs. Up into Sheen Curve, we ride on board with Sam Mitchell, who's right underneath the gearbox of Richard Tarling in the battle for 6th position. Through Stirling's Bend they go. Mitchell carries the speed through the corner well, and again he's right up behind Tarling but can't find a way through. Into Clearways, Tarling defending the line. Last lap he slid a bit wide here. This time he has the position covered off of Sam Mitchell, so Mitchell slips in the slipstream, then pulls off to driver's left to come up alongside the Macon of Tarling. Meanwhile, it's still the Lola of Cameron Jackson that leads the way. Matt Wrigley going well, but he's having a bit of a lonely race. James Buckton ahead of Westy Mitchell now behind. Michael Grant Peterkin ahead of Stuart Kestenbaum. There's Ross Driver, he's next up. Then Brian Morris, he's having a battle with Tim Bryden. Side by side, that's Rob Smith and Neil Shinner. Sideways through 30 for the race leader Cameron Jackson, and Sam Mitchell dives to the inside to get past Richard Tarling for 6th. Underneath the bridge, and it's side by side for the lead. Ben Mitchell coming around the outside of Cameron Jackson, but Jackson stays ahead. Great run though it has been from Ben Mitchell in the Jimmy's Iced Coffee Merlin Mark 20, running in a 2nd position from 6th on the grid. Rob Lamplow leading Dick Dixon and Stuart Dix ahead of this titanic battle. Dixon and Lamplow had a great battle in the heat earlier on, and they are continuing their dice into this, the 5th round of the championship here at Brands Hatch. Through the Bath right-hander at Hawthorns they go. It's the Winkelmann ahead of the Lotus. Lamplow has Dixon looking to the inside, but our onboard camera driver Dixon can't find a way through. It is Cameron Jackson that leads through Paddock Hill Bend, and just starting to spread out ever so slightly are our race leaders now, but it's been a fantastic race up to this point. I'm sure it's not over yet. Our top 4 are right together, and of course once they start dicing it'll bring those cars behind back into the situation. Ben Tilley on a charge as he does chase the top 4 with Sam Mitchell behind, and then we got Tarling and Bartel. Meanwhile though, Cameron Jackson arm out of the cockpit, a problem then with his Lola T200, the Neil Fowler Motorsport car then, who looking so strong, looks to be going out of the race. Jackson racing a Formula Junior earlier, he's running that, he's out in a classic Formula 3 as well. He's having a busy weekend, but it's not gone to plan here. Stuart Dix now at the head of this dice. Lamplow was trying to come through, but he's lost out, and Dick Dixon has also found a way through, but it's Stuart Dix, as I mentioned, leading this scrap now, but back up a bit further because Max Bartel and Ben Sims are nose to tail into Sheen Curve. They're just behind Richard Tarling, and much quicker out the corner for Sims, so he goes through, he gains the position. Here is Stuart Dix leading that back. You've got Louis Handel just behind Dick Dixon now, as Lamplow has dropped back just a touch. We can go on board with Dixon. He's got a good toe on Stuart Dix. He's looking to the inside at Hawthorns. He couldn't make a move on Lamplow last lap, but he is going to go down the inside of the Cooper of Stuart Dix. Ben Tilley checks his mirrors as he sees the cars in front run side by side. That's Callum Grant looking to the outside of Michael O'Brien, who dives down the inside to grab the race lead now. Away from Ben Mitchell, but Mitchell carries the speed round the outside to lead once more. Callum Grant looking to the outside. Ben Tilley just keeping a watching brief, and he sees a gap on the inside, so he dives down on it. And it's side by side with the lead once more as they go down the hill, down towards Graham Hill Bend, and they stay in the same order after all that. Tilley looks to the inside of Callum Grant in towards Surtees, and he's gone through. It's 5 for the lead once more with Cameron Jackson dropping out, but we've got Ben Tilley and Sam Mitchell now involved in that lead group. Callum Grant just lost out to Ben Tilley, and now he's under threat from Sam Mitchell. Mitchell looking down the inside, but didn't go for it on this opportunity, but still time left for him to pass Callum Grant. Meanwhile, look at that as Dick Dixon goes back down the inside of Stuart Dix, and that is a fantastic battle. It's so hard to cover them all because this race has to be one of the best in the history of the historic Formula 4 Championship, with battles all the way through the field and not just featuring 2 or 3 cars, whole groups of them. Through clearways then, Grant being chased by Sam Mitchell, Mitchell in car 40. He's got a good toe here, and he's going down the inside in towards Paddock Hill Bend, and he goes up to 4th place to Sam Mitchell. All in leading cars, all Merlin Mark 20s, and they're having a great battle. Tilley and Mitchell nose to tail, big slide from Tilley turning through Druids. Meanwhile up front, Ben Mitchell defending from Michael O'Brien. Of course, Ben and Sam Mitchell are brothers. Could well be they will battle before the end of this one. Side by side the third as Sam Mitchell goes down the inside of Ben Tilley. This has been a great drive from Sam Mitchell. He started 10th on the grid and he's up to 3rd. Tarling, Sims and Bartel there, 6th, 7th and 8th. Gap back to James Buckton, he's in 9th, ahead of Matt Wrigley. Let's ride on board with the race leader then, and it's a change for the lead in fact, because it's Michael O'Brien that goes down the inside of Ben Mitchell into Hawthorns Bend. So O'Brien leads, 2nd is Mitchell, into Westfield they turn, using all the curbs does Ben Mitchell, and of course he can look at his mirrors and see his brother because Sam is closing up to the top 2. Through Sheen Curve down towards Sterling's, looking to the inside is Ben Mitchell. He dives down there to get the position, so back into the lead goes Ben Mitchell, and Sam now has got to run on O'Brien. So the Mitchells are going to both pass Michael O'Brien in the space of less than 2 corners. It's Ben that leads Sam, his older brother ahead of younger brother. Barbara Westy a bit further back. And a great toe has Sam Mitchell has got, and he's going round the outside into Paddock Hill Bend. But later on the brakes is Ben Mitchell on the inside, so he continues to lead. Drifts all the way through the corner, and just behind Callum Grant trying to get a run on Ben Tilley. And Tilley in turn is going round the outside of Michael O'Brien, so they will run side by side through the corner. So Grant's going to try and sneak up on the inside of Tilley here on the run down towards Graham Hill Bend. The 2 Mitchells are side by side as well as they turn to the corner, and Ben Tilley dives down the inside to grab 3rd. Absolutely stunning stuff here at Brands Hatch. And Michael O'Brien once again dives back past Tilley, so it's almost corner by corner. The positions are changing in that leading 5. Kevin Stanzel is chasing Daniel Pickett now as they come up across the line. These drivers battling outside the top 10 but having a great battle as Stanzel goes down the inside. The car tries to break away over the bump on the inside line into Paddock, and Pickett therefore able to carry the speed around the outside to stay ahead. Louis Handel down the inside of Stuart Dix, they're behind Dick Dixon. Just starting to spread out behind them now. Richard Tarling has Ben Sims coming around the outside of him. He slides a bit wide, so is that going to allow Sims to look down the inside at Westfield? He's looking, but there's not really a place to pass. Tarling gave him racing room though, should he wish to have took it. Back to the Mitchell battle for the lead. It's Ben leading Sam down towards the left-hander at Sterling's. Second mirrors with Sam Mitchell. There's 3 cars chasing them. Can we have a Mitchell 1-2 here? Ben started 6th and Sam started 10th, so a great run it has been from both of them, and a good run through Clark Curve for Sam Mitchell. He tried to save us last time, but pulls out of the toe earlier on, and he noses ahead as they cross the line. Is he going to be able to go right round the outside into Paddock Hill Bend? Yes, he does, as Sam Mitchell leads the race from 10th on the grid. Well, for 6th position, Richard Tarling's under threat because Ben Sims is looking down the inside. He slides a bit wide, it's just a Formula Ford car whip. Sims tries to take it but can't find a way through. It's Maycorn ahead of Jomo in the battle for 6th. We've got the 5 Merlins up front. Down the Cooper Straight and down towards 30s they go. Sims has got a good run on Tarling. He goes down the inside in towards the left-hander. Just carrying the speed on the outside line there to keep ahead. Now using the toe is Ben Sims as they head down Pilgrim's Drop, and then they will climb up hill into Hawthorne Bend. And Formula Pub Rowley champion Tarling just about holding on ahead of Sims. Side by side through Paddock. That involved Neil Shinner, I think. He can now ride on board with Ross Driver. I think that's Michael Grant Peterkin that he's got a run on up towards Sheen Curve. He's going down the inside to gain the place. Into Paddock, round the outside of Dick Dixon goes Stuart Dix to gain the place. What about Kevin Stanza? Will he continue to dive with Daniel Pickett? He looks round the outside up towards Hawthorns and will be able to go right round the outside. Yes, he does, so he goes ahead. Back to the leaders though, in at 4th position it is Ben Tilley, but Ben Mitchell, he's out over the gravel out of Clearways, and that's going to allow Michael O'Brien to have a run on him. They're going to be starting the last lap now, less than a lap time left on the clock, and into P2 goes Michael O'Brien. Sam Mitchell just starting to make a break from that battle for 2nd. Tarling, Sims and Bartel behind, and Tilley looking to the inside of Mitchell. A big slide from both O'Brien and from Mitchell, and that is going to allow Sam Mitchell to get away up front, and I think that frustrated Ben Tilley a touch as Ben Mitchell tries to get 2nd position. He's trying to go down the inside of Michael O'Brien, but he can't do it. Now he's having to defend from Ben Tilley as they head down towards 30s. He looks to the outside, does Tilley, but he can't find a way through. Callum Grant sits right behind them. Grant do about Tilley then on the run down towards Hawthorns? O'Brien's made a gap to Ben Mitchell, it would appear, so it's all about the battle for 3rd. Mitchell, Tilley and Grant. Grant's going around the outside of Ben Tilley in towards Hawthorns. Tilley's going to use that inside line to stay ahead. This may well though allow Ben Mitchell to get away in 3rd place. Good run through Westfield for Callum Grant. He's going to the inside of Ben Tilley up towards Sheen Curve, and that gives him the position. Neil Shinner, Westy Mitchell, Tim Bryce and Roland Svensson turn through Paddock. Eddie and Jerry and Andrew Wiggins, they're having a good battle. But into Clearways for the final time. Ben Mitchell has closed up with Michael O'Brien is right behind him as they go through Clark Curve. But to take the race victory for 10th on the grid, a stunning drive in a stunning race from Sam Mitchell. He comes out on top then, and what a cracking race it was, all the way through the field, but particularly up front, changing positions every corner at times. What a way to celebrate 50 years of Formula Ford racing, a proper Formula Ford race here on the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. And it's not done yet, because Dick Dixon is involved in a great battle. That's Michael Rathborough up ahead of him, as well as Stuart Dix. And there's going to be some racing to the line here between Rathborough and Dixon. going to be a near-on photo finish when they cross the line, but Rashford just about keeping ahead. Absolutely fantastic. Sam Mitchell was your race winner by over a second. That certainly doesn't describe how the race went. Michael O'Brien was in P2 and Ben Mitchell third. Just 500 separated those two. That more described how that race was. In fourth was Callum Grant and Ben Tilley round off of Merlin top 5 in fifth. Richard Tarlin beat Ben Sims and Max Bartel to 6th. And James Buckton and Matt Wrigley completed the top 10. Stuart Kestenbaum, Ross Dryber, Brian Morris, Westy Mitchell dropped to 14th. And Tim Bride concluded the top 15. Roland Svensson, Rob Smith, Kevin Stanzel, Daniel Pickett and Chris Sharples concluded the top 20. And Andrew Wiggins was the best of the rest in that absolutely awesome battle outside the top 20. But from 10th on the grid, it was Sam Mitchell that took the race victory. Tomorrow we do it all again with a heat and a final to celebrate 50 years of Formula Ford.